Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm going to read through the full article here. There's a link in the description. I'm going to let you know that it is a tragedy. I'm going to provide a trigger warning. There will be some details in regards to the injury sustained by the victim. The victim was a baby boy. The culprit, the murderer, is the scumbag that you see in front of you, Amber Bowling. This happened in Manchester, Kentucky. I'm not quite sure when it happened. The article isn't very clear in regards to that. I think it may have happened last Tuesday, but that could be incorrect. The mother has admitted to having murdered her own son. So what happened was she gave birth seemingly at home. She gave birth at home. Immediately after the birth of her baby boy, she put the baby boy, her baby son, in a garbage bag, and brace yourself, she threw the baby boy over the second-story banister of the apartment complex that she lives in. Naturally, the boy died from injuries related to blunt force trauma, which includes cranial fracture, fractured ribs, and a brain bleed. In addition, the baby boy was left out in the cold on the ground. Now, he was found Tuesday 7:30 a.m. by another resident of the same apartment complex. His name is Paul Hurd. He was coming home after a 12-hour work shift, and he saw a bag lying in the leaves near the stairs to his second-floor apartment. He realized there was a child inside the bag, dumped on the ground. He took the child inside, and he called the police, but unfortunately the child died soon afterwards. So I'm going to commend Paul Hurd, the resident that did this. Seemingly he took the right action. He took the child inside. You know, of course, he had to have done that, but I mention that because I've seen a video online just yesterday of, and I'm going on a tangent, this is in regards to a different case, but I saw a video yesterday, and it could have been from an overseas country, China is my thoughts, but a baby was found, again, in a garbage bag, again, in a dumpster, much like this one. A baby was found, and somebody slowly, too slowly, opens the bag, opens the garbage bag. He has to rip it open to an extent, but he does so too slowly. And then he and all of these people that found the baby in this dumped in this garbage dumpster, they just stand around and watch the baby whilst it's lying on the concrete floor. They didn't act. They didn't. Nobody there, male or female, took the baby in their arms and cuddled the baby to make sure that they were warm and safe. Seemingly, this resident here did the right thing, Paul Hurd. Seemingly, he took the child inside. He did what he could do. Unfortunately, he couldn't do anything. The baby died. Now, another aspect to this story is that this happened in Kentucky. Kentucky has a Safe Infants Act, which allows parents to leave babies younger than 30 days at a designated safe place, which includes police stations, fire departments, hospitals, and places of worship. Now, my understanding is that such designated safe places have a no questions policy. As long as the child is unharmed, does not appear to be a victim of torture or neglect, abuse, sorry, I should have said abuse or neglect. As long as there's no clear signs of abuse or neglect, there's a no questions asked policy. So that means that allows for a mother who has an unwanted baby to give that baby to an authority that will immediately ensure the safety and the health of that child as best they can. So they'll be taken to the hospital to get all of the treatment that the baby requires. They will be housed, etc., etc. So sure, they will go through the system, not necessarily ideal. but it means that that child can have a life. And this scumbag mother, Amber Bowling, didn't do that. She didn't do the simple, sane act of taking her unwanted child to a designated safe place. No, she threw the baby over a balcony of a second-story apartment. She killed the baby. She left it discarded out in the cold on the ground with a cranial fracture, fractured ribs, and a brain bleed. I mean, you wouldn't treat a goldfish like that. I wouldn't treat a goldfish like that. What an absolute scumbag. She has admitted guilt. She's facing sentencing on June the 27th. 40 years is the recommended sentence. Again, this happened in Kentucky. My hope is that she gets 40 years or the longest term possible. In addition, I hope that she doesn't get parole. If this happened in England, I'm not an expert, but I've seen enough cases at this point to know that the maximum she would likely get in England would be 25 years. And there would be parole after even just half a dozen years or so. So I really hope that isn't the case. I really hope that Kentucky do the right thing for justice for this, I presume, unnamed child. Again, discarded. Maybe the boy could be remembered by the name Paul, as a thank you for the gentleman that picked him up, took the child into warmth, tried to do what he could do. Alas, nobody could have done anything. So I'm going to wrap things up here, guys. If you do value this type of content, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It's just going to be the one video today, but I shall make a batch of videos tomorrow in all likelihood. So I'm going to thank you for your time and take care.